That's not the scene I meant to go to. Let's hop on over here for a moment first. What's up, everybody? Greetings and happy Wednesday. What is up, Calligraphy 1989? What is up, Juice Willis? What is up, Zerodine 90? What is up, lurkers in chat, VOD viewers, and everybody else? Welcome, welcome. We're gathered here once again for the continued adventures of Games Bond. I've been looking forward to this one. We are going to be playing the third and final installment of the Nightfire trilogy, the Game Boy Advance version. And it'll be fun, it'll be interesting, it'll be something different. It'll be something perhaps surprisingly familiar. I don't know. But I'm excited to see what it's going to be like. And I have some amount of perhaps misplaced faith that some of the more annoying aspects of the previous two games will not really be a factor in this one. I mean, I'm not really basing that on any substantial facts or anything, or even anything else for that matter. But, you know, thinking about it, the PC Nightfire had a lot of pretty huge levels that felt a little aimless. The console game had the driving levels and stuff like that, and I assume that the GBA version doesn't have driving levels, and if it does, they wouldn't be anything like the ones in the console game. I also assume that it will not have giant levels. I would imagine that, all things considered, this will be a more compact experience. It'll probably be a shorter game. Could, in fact, take a look at the spreadsheet. I was about to say I don't have the spreadsheet in front of me, but now I do. And I can conclude that the Xbox Nightfire game took us 7 hours 37 minutes to complete. PC game took us 8 hours 26 minutes, so about an hour longer. And given that the GBA game is probably going to be a kind of, you know, scaled down adaptation, it seems reasonable to assume that it's got fewer levels, and those levels are probably shorter. I would not expect to beat this game tonight, but I can't rule out the possibility. We've had games in the 2 to 3 hour, you know, bracket in the past. Agent Under Fire took us 4 hours 51 minutes. That's like a pretty comfortable 2-stream game. Realistically, I mean, I guess it all comes down to the difficulty level, because if the GBA game is somehow extremely difficult, then obviously progress might be slower. But as far as like playing through it, I would assume that it is significantly simpler and probably shorter. But I honestly won't mind that. I feel like, looking back at the list, we played the two Nightfire games, we played Agent Under Fire before that. Before that was the hellacious Game Boy Color version of The World Is Not Enough, which was just a real, I was going to say gauntlet, no pun intended, listening to the Gauntlet music. It was pretty rough. 007 Racing was, looking at the timestamps here, 5 hours 56, which is like, that felt like it was a longer game, but it was pretty, it had a few difficulty spikes, but all in all, it was a pretty brief, pretty enjoyable experience. We had The World's Not Enough, which was another 10-11 hour outing. PS1 games, then GoldenEye before that, the Game Boy game. Like, overall, I feel like it's been quite a while since we had a game that felt, you know, just like a breeze, just smooth progress all the way through. I mean, we didn't get like super stuck on anything in recent memory, really, but they still felt a little annoying and stressful at times. So I'm curious to see if the Game Boy Advance version is going to feel more relaxing. I feel like I could use that. But if not, then we're just gonna have to roll up our sleeves and try our best. We're gonna get into it shortly. I don't have a huge amount of housekeeping preamble type stuff, but I do have one thing that I want to just bring up real quick. A package that I was expecting. Well, I wasn't really expecting to get it on Friday, but I was told that I would. So I was like, all right, that's cool. And then for some reason it couldn't be delivered, so it got here yesterday, and I was able to pick it up today. And this here is a new SSD, which I don't know when I will have the time and inclination to perform the necessary computer surgery. I haven't looked up if I have free slots to slot this into, or if I'm gonna have to do some swappage as far as backing stuff up. I don't have an external closure. I'm gonna have to figure something out, but basically I've had problems which more recently, thankfully, I was able to kind of get to the bottom of, or at least learn some more stuff about the freezing issues I've had. And it basically seems to have boiled down to the make and model of SSDs that I have in my computer are just pieces of shit, and they're gonna do that. So it's the one drive that I've been using the most, sort of, that have been causing the most issues. And right now I've taken an intermediary step of basically taking anything stream related off of that drive. I'm not using much on that drive, but there is stuff, or there isn't now, but OBS would have accessed or tried to access files on that disk for certain things. And in an attempt to mitigate the freezing issues, I've tried to make sure that there's nothing on that disk that OBS is trying to access while I'm streaming. And so far so good. I've done like 2 streams, I think, since changing that, and we haven't had freezing since, but that doesn't mean much. It could rear its ugly head at any given moment. Hopefully this drive is better. It's a Corsair drive, which I understand is also, like, basically it seems like if you're getting an M2 drive, you should get a Samsung, because everything else is like, ooh, you never fucking know. But I got a good deal on this one. It was like 50 euros off, so I figured hopefully this will at least not be worse. And push comes to shove, maybe I could put this in an enclosure and have some kind of external storage or whatever. Corsair should be good, you would think so, right? But the ones I have are Kingston, and I would have thought that Kingston makes decent storage, but apparently as far as M2 drives go, not the case. And also, I'm just not willing to take anything for granted. I think that's more closer to reality. But I was lucky to just get, there was like a lightning deal sort of a thing for this. And I figured, you know what, let's not put it off any further. Let's just rip the band-aid off and make the purchase. And see if I can figure out the installation and get that done. And we'll see. Like, I'm conflicted too, because the drive that I have, another 2 terabytes that I could use. So I'm wondering, I don't know again how many slots I have, and it's possible that I don't have enough slots to keep both, in which case, fuck it, I'll just, you know, toss the old one or do something else with it. But if I have room for all of them, I want to see if maybe there's some way to keep that as like non-essential storage stuff. Maybe like just keeping video stuff for like editing, or I'm not really sure, but I have been keeping my Dropbox on this like troublesome disk, and there's a lot of reading and writing involved with that, right? And I keep a lot of my stuff, all of my like creative output, everything, all of my like personal stuff, basically, I tend to keep on my Dropbox as my backup and everything. So it's a little bit awkward if I can't use the drive for that. Like, I need to keep my Dropbox stuff on a drive that's actually reliable. But other stuff I'll be able to figure out. And that's where I had all my OBS stuff in my Twitch whatever in my Dropbox as well, to keep it portable and backing it up. But I had to like basically make a copy of all of that. I have a local copy on a different drive that I'm running stuff off of now, which, like I said, so far so good. In any case, for longtime viewers who've been forced to sit through some of these unfortunate freezing episodes, do know that we are one step closer to, if not solving them, at least attempting something that could hopefully potentially solve it. So I feel pretty good about that, because I've been kind of putting it off. Like, the thing is, I was very hesitant to spend money on a new drive when I didn't know if it was really the drive that was the problem. For all I knew, it could just as likely have been a motherboard issue or something else. But I felt more confident in attempting this as a solution, having now read a lot more testimonies, basically, of people suffering essentially the exact same issue with the exact same drive. So, knock on wood, we can install this, and hopefully all that shit can be in the past. Taking anything for granted just yet, but I'm optimistic. So, very glad to finally have this in hand. But with that, I believe we can hop on back to the old Bond scene and get ready. Probably hydrate. Ah. So, today we are embarking on mission number 27, 007 Nightfire, for the Game Boy Advance, released a few months after the console and PC games in early 2003. Sharing the storyline, i.e. Bond must stop megalomaniacal industrialist Raphael Drake from achieving world domination, and general gameplay concept, i.e. a first-person shooter, this version adapts a selection of levels from the other versions for the handheld's capabilities. This is a first-person shooter, and I want to say that, to my knowledge, there's at least a handful of reasonably decent first-person shooters on the GBA. It should be... I mean, people have done first-person shooting on weaker systems than that. So, hopefully, it'll hold up well enough. I mean, kind of what it comes down to is, like, if level design isn't dog shit and controls are decent enough to let you kind of move around as necessitated by the combat scenarios you're put in, it's probably going to be okay. What's up, Doom Noob? There is, let's see, I think there's one other, yeah, Everything or Nothing is also on GBA, and I think that's more of a isometric puzzle action adventure kind of a thing. I believe there is at least one FPS on the DS as well. There's, looking at the list, there are 4 Bond games on DS. GoldenEye Rogue Agent, Quantum of Solace, GoldenEye Remake, and Bloodstone. And I think Rogue Agent and GoldenEye are both first-person shooters, but I could be wrong. There's probably more first-person shooters on the DS than the GBA, just in general. But yeah, there's a couple. There's Doom is probably the only one I've like really played, and even that was 20 years ago, so I don't have it like very fresh in memory. But to my recollection, Doom on the GBA is like pretty decent. I think there was also a Medal of Honor on GBA that is supposed to be pretty decent, but I might be getting it mixed up. It's possible that's a DS game, I'm not sure. But I think this game, I could be wrong, but I believe this game also has a fairly decent reputation of being, you know, more decent than you might expect. And I will be very curious to find out and form my own opinion. Before we jump into the game, we have one last thing to check in on, of course, which which is the Q Branch Research Funding Initiative. This is the means by which we will unlock and add additional bonus games to our game list. We have 50 games to be played officially, and we are on number 27 today. We have additional bonus games which can be unlocked through community effort. All subscriptions, bits, donations, merch sales, etc. will contribute to the Q Credits Fund at a rate of more or less 1 credit per bit. So 1,000 bits or 4 subs or some combination thereof will accumulate to 1,000 credits. And if we reach that, we've reached the daily objective. And once we've done that 7 more times, I guess we're at 3 out of 10, we will unlock the next bonus game. So the power is in your hand, not forcing anyone, of course. But just treat it as a little bonus if we get some momentum with channel support. What's up, Netscape Navigator? Jonas Will, greetings, greetings. GBA Doom is alright. Doom 2 is by a different developer and a nice feature version in general. I don't think I was aware that Doom 2 existed as a separate release on GBA, but hey, why not? And if you want to check in on the ongoing status of the Q Branch Research Funding Initiative, you can just type !Q as long as this scene is visible on screen, and you'll see a little status thing pop up at the bottom of the screen. And of course, also type !007 to reach the official spreadsheet, which I'm actually going to do right now. There you can see the status of all previous and upcoming games. You can also see our ongoing calculations for bond quotient of each game. We'll come back to that more once we have finished this one. You can see if there are any interesting updates to make. Oh yeah, I'd already fixed this, I guess. I've updated the status of this game to active. We are starting on today, the 3rd of April, 2024. Well, with that, I believe we are ready. So let's do this. Fade out these jams and see what audio visual splendor Game Boy Advance version of 007 Nightfire has to offer. What's up, Mendel? Welcome, welcome. There's a lot of legal text to squeeze into the screen. Dreams are made of. We'll see about that. So, absolute silence so far. I believe the emulator is not muted or anything. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is. I tested this off stream, but not with this game. I don't want to spoil anything. No, that looks correct. Oh. All right. We've got a gun barrel sequence. Shockingly good audio, I have to say, for a GBA game. But they might have put all the storage and effort into this opening. Who knows? I mean, this is recognizable. I'm not shocked that they wouldn't keep the opening FMV. It would have been so fucking sick if they tried to adapt it with like sprites and shit. Like, that would have been super sick. But that would be more effort than I could reasonably have expected, so I'm not like upset that they didn't do it. The fact that we got one of the best gun barrel sequences we've seen, that's that carries it pretty far. There's a nice like half-second input lag on the menu cursor. That's fairly cursed, but Hopefully not reflective of the actual gameplay experience. So I don't have a manual on hand for this, and I could not really find any interesting or noteworthy advertising material or anything like that. Normally we kind of go over whatever material we have that might be interesting to look at before jumping in, but in this case there wasn't really anything I could find. So we're about to get ready. What's up, Trap? Yeah, we've seen some nasty ass crunchy JPEGs in some of these games. GBA was pretty rotten with them, but hell, even The World's Not Enough on the Game Boy Color had such like atrociously color crushed screen caps from the film that you couldn't even tell what they were supposed to depict. And this, you know, isn't that bad, but some of these attempted transitions from yellow to red are pretty abominable. In fairness, I think stuff like that tends to look much worse on a screen like this than it would on a tiny GBA screen that probably would have had, I mean, it would be at the native resolution, so you tend to get you know, not scan lines exactly, but there is a kind of filtering effect compared to the crispness you get when you sort of scale it up on a PC monitor. And depending on what model and device you play it on, the contrast might also be really kind of washed out to make it, to sort of hide it further. But I think ultimately shit like this is just never gonna look as good as if you like pixel it properly. So we're seeing it in a less charitable light, but I think in best case scenario, it's like, yeah, they might get away with it a little better, but it's not exactly a creative choice I'm likely to get very enthusiastic about no matter what. But I guess we might as well start the timer here. I'm not sure what's going to happen when I press this button, but let's find out. All right. Normal game or hard game? I think we'll do normal game. Oh, I'm going to enter our name. Okay. I wouldn't normal. I might reset the timer. If there's another like menu after this. Yep. Cursor's still laggy. Oh, okay. This is slightly confusing, but I'm liking that they incorporate, because that was kind of in the console game too. They have a little bit of this Bond opening credits aesthetic with the naked lady silhouettes. I don't think that was in like any of the menu screens like this, but you had it kind of in the pause menu. We didn't get the awkward breathing Pierce Brosnan in this one. So mission 1, A button, I guess, to start the level, and probably I can cycle through the levels on this screen once we have more than one unlocked. So menu start. Okay, here we go. Options. Oh, we can probably, yeah, we can fuck with the brightness. Okay, that's interesting. Music and sound effects on. Yep, sounds good to me. I mean, it's probably not going to sound good, but that seems like the correct choice. Controls. This is interesting. Ooh, oh boy. See, well, okay, let's see what we got here. Move and turn. Aim for underwater or space. Okay, we got space aiming. Aim/use scope on land. L and R and D-pad. Thrust. Underwater or space. R button. Okay. Duck. B and down. Jump. B and up. Reload is on the select button. All right. Menu is start. Strafing is with L and R. That is incredible. Action A. Weapon change B and L. I like that there's nothing is telling us if we can fire a gun and with which button we might do so. I'm guessing maybe it's B. It doesn't say, but Because I'm assuming action button is not the gun firing action. We can see what the other options are and if it's going to clarify anything. See, I was going to say before we saw anything about the controls, I'm going to stop the timer because we'll start it when we play properly instead. I wasn't sure if new game would like launch us right into the opening cutscene or something. I was going to say, like, the one thing that makes any console first-person shooter, like, or any first-person shooter really, like, comfortable to play is if you can strafe and turn independently. And on a console, that basically means having dedicated strafe buttons. Anytime you're forced to use a strafe toggle or a strafe modifier, then that's it. Like, it's just not gonna... I mean, some games might be kind of slow enough or designed such that you can make it work, but it's never gonna feel great. And on the GBA, that tends to basically mean strafing left and right on the L and R buttons. And I feel like Doom can do that pretty comfortably, because all you really need in Doom is fire your gun, action button for switches and doors, and a way to swap weapons. And in that game, I don't know, you probably can, you know, you could do some button combination or select button or something to swap weapons, and then that's like, you're good. But Bond first-person shooters have kind of been cursed with needing you to move around, jump, crouch, cycle weapons, cycle gadgets, cycle firing modes, cycle choose glasses, vision modes. And like it's awkward. Buttons seem to barely suffice on an Xbox. Obviously, this might be slightly simplified. I don't know, like, we use both triggers to aim, but I'm not sure how much verticality there's going to be. But I think it's a very promising sign that the developers saw fit to make sure we could have dedicated strafe buttons. I don't know if that means that the game is going to ask a lot of us, but I know that it means that the developers wanted to make sure that we have good, like, movement controls. And, like, good mobility. So, that is, like, encouraging. But let's see what we got here. Okay. So setting B lets us use the R trigger to aim instead of both triggers. We can reload on L, but this, now we instead have a strafe modifier. So B button becomes like the modifier button. B plus down to crouch, B plus up to jump, B plus left or right to strafe, and B plus triggers to swap weapons. Oh, that's it. Okay, there's those two options. Well, I'm gonna go with the individual strafe button options, because I don't feel like there's anything here that gives us a benefit. I guess the only thing is it's a little easier to do the aiming, to not have to use both buttons. But frankly, reloading on select, I'm playing with my fake Super Nintendo controller, so reaching over to the select button from the D-pad is like 4 millimeters, so it's not exactly less accessible than using my left trigger. So it's not really a sacrifice, as far as I'm concerned. We're just gonna have to try and find out which button actually fires the gun. All right, Austrian Castle on Jig and Normal. Do it. Good evening, 007. A redesigned piece of missile guidance hardware intended for the orbiting U.S. space weapon something has been stolen. NATO has advised that recovery is critical. Should an unfriendly power reverse engineer this device, platform's global defense capabilities would be severely compromised. Recent intelligence implicates Raphael Drake in the theft. Hard to believe, as Drake is a respected green industrialist whose Phoenix International dismantles obsolete atomic reactors and decommissions nuclear arsenals. Allied agent planted in Drake's organization reports that Alexander Mayhew, a British expatriate who heads Phoenix's Japan branch, is en route to Drake's castle in Austria. The stolen guidance device will change hands tonight during a formal gathering at the castle. Oh, that's us parachuting. Drake's security teams are hardened men. As a 00 agent, you may have to answer aggression with aggression. Good luck, James. That is not Pierce Brosnan. That's fucking Agent Under Fire, James Bond. Okay, there's like a lot to take in right there. So they used screenshots from the console game FMV with text. The music is from the console game. I was wondering if we were going to have the same music but sort of crunched down, and that seems to be what we're getting. But it sounds okay. I'm curious if/when we get more actiony music, how that's going to like hold up. Look like Rob Lowe. A little bit. What's up, Tonda? But when you have this like seamless transition from text briefing screens to in-game, and the music just continues over, and it's this kind of... The music actually fits well for the level, for the kind of stealth stuff, but it just was a little weird for the briefing. But regardless, having the music just continually play as we go from essentially menu screens to cutscene to in-game action always feels really awkward to me. But, ooh, objectives. Breach castle walls. So obviously this mission, the objective, the setup, the story, everything is like identical so far to both previous games. The map layout, I'm sure, will not be exactly the same, but it'll be exciting to see how well they recreate the sort of pace and the general beats of each level. Because most of the levels that were common between the Xbox and PC versions, even though the map layouts were all different, the broad strokes of the progression of what you did to go through the levels were mostly the same, or at least quite similar. Some levels, like the power plant level, was actually significantly different. But I'm curious to what degree this game is going to feel like. Will it feel closer to the console game or the PC game? Like, will it be close enough to either of them to feel more like that one than the other? Or is it going to feel like its own third branch that isn't, you know, any more like one than the other? I'm also curious how many levels there are going to be and what they decide to skip. Breach castle walls. All right, the truck is traveling in same direction as the console game. Oh shit. Okay. Oh, the A button shoots. Straving is a bit different. Am I? Wait, why can I not strafe? Did I change controls? Okay, I'm dead. Okay, I can still turn. Mission failed. Yeah, I'm okay. I realize that. Is the game gonna be any good? I'm not sure. I might just take a little bit of getting used to. Let's double check. No, okay, so it ended up... Okay. I fucked it up. So, I assumed, wrongfully, that the aiming would be kind of on-screen reticle type deal. But no, it's like full-on camera moving, which makes something like this a little tricky. Crouch. Oh my god, okay. They don't take like 50 bullets at least. What I think happened there... Oh, interesting. So you can just hold forward and tap B to jump. Oh, I swap weapons. I think what happened is I landed on the truck. But as I was standing on the truck moved and I didn't. So I like fell off. But it's a little hard to tell if that's what happened, but it definitely felt like I landed on the truck. It didn't seem like I just missed it. So, I'm not sure. But hey, we made it. Okay, I guess we can sneak past this way. I kind of recognize some of the layout a little bit. I don't have like a silencer or anything. Yeah, the frame rate's a bit weird, even like the 2D elements. Hey, what's up, Sean? Yeah, we played about 30 seconds of actual gameplay. You know, kind of impressive, but also... Also, it is what it is. But I think that's my favorite part of it so far, that enemies, like, actually go down pretty quickly. The audio is actually quite impressive, too, because that's usually really shit in GBA games. Ooh, armor plate. Okay, so that's like more like the PC game. We have combined, like, armor equals health. Yeah, we were talking a little bit before about how there's FPS on GBA is a thing. And you know, it's like, it's one of those things that may be impressive but could also be somewhat ill-advised. But yeah, it's sort of scaled a little bit after the capabilities, right? So enemies have quite obviously very limited awareness, which is, you know, for the best. I do love that we have individual strafe buttons. It makes mobility better and kind of manageable. But I'm glad that we don't have to deal with more than 2 or 3 guys over an area of like 100 square feet. These guys don't sound particularly Austrian, but that's okay. Oh, wow. They're actually... Well, those pixels over there are firing at us. I like those green tracers, by the way. They're nice and visible. Oh, so this is the most fucked up thing. There's like this horrendous acceleration. And then you can see the frame rate's very uneven too. But like, it's hard to make quick, small adjustments because like you have to hold the turn button for what feels like a full second. It's not that it's like super laggy, but it's just like the first second or so that you try to move or turn. Although I guess it's true for movement as well. There's just like not a lot of response. All right, okay. Can we just go inside here? We confirm that Agent Nightshade and the Deep Cover Operative will rendezvous with you in the castle library. So far, levels feel very truncated. I trust you'll maintain a low profile, 007. Thank you all for accepting my invitation this evening. Your generous gifts have ensured the success of our World Refugee Fund. This is from the PC version. The cutscene. Once again, my gratitude to all for making the journey here. And now, cocktails are waiting for you in the salon. Because the room, like the dialogue is similar, but the room layout is different. Business to tend to, you play the hostess, blah, blah, blah. Wow, shit, we just warp right here. James, Dominique, you're the deep cover agent? Oh, it's not as deep as it looks. Sorry to interrupt your debriefing, 007. Agent Nightshade, CIA. Dominique Paradis, French intelligence. James Mayhew has arrived with a stolen guidance device. Rick just went to the conference room. I would imagine he's meeting Mayhew there. I'd better get back to the party before I'm missed. Zoe, MI6 wants surveillance photos of that exchange. Right, I'll create a distraction for you while you make your way to the conference room. That dress standard company issue, Nightshade? Don't get any ideas, 007. It's armored in all the right places. She does a little head bob and then she walks out. Alright, I'm just like blown away by how rapidly we're moving, because we just skipped like a good third of the level. In the other versions of the game, yeah, step 1 is to breach the castle walls, then to infiltrate the building, then to like invite yourself to the party and snoop around a little bit, talk to some of the party goers, hit on some people. In the PC version, you also have to find a there's a waiter who's like undercover, so you get like your gadgets from the waiter, I think, and then you stumble on Dominique in this little office, and this cutscene plays out. And then we have to go around a little further to find the meeting. But it's interesting that right now we actually have a kind of forced stealth sort of thing, which it doesn't quite work out that way in the other games, because it's more like the first section when you're inside, you don't have weapons, so there isn't any combat in that section of the game at all. And then once you transition a little further, there's a cutscene, blah blah, and then you just have your gun and guards will shoot you on sight, and it's just an action stage at that point. But here it kind of seems like there's some actual bit of stealth that the game wants us to perform. Let me catch up with chat a little bit. Tango Bunny, what's up? Night Dive needs to remake the GBA FPS games. I mean, I feel like there's probably... their efforts are arguably spent better elsewhere. Like in PO'd, that was just announced. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to see games like these just like bumped up a little bit in playability. But if you had like full fucking 4K 120 mouse aim, I have a feeling that some shallowness existing in these games would kind of be revealed, and it's maybe not for the best, but you know, it's a fun idea. Visual elements seem to have a mix of styles. Yeah, I really dig like the not quite pixel art exactly, I guess, but like the guns, they're like crisp and detailed compared to all the 3D stuff. But they do kind of, especially with this the gun, not sure what kind of gun it's supposed to be, but it reminds me of like the mini Uzi from Shadow Warrior or something like that. Not quite that style, of course, but it feels more reminiscent of that than like the 3D models from the console version of this, or the PC version for that matter. What's up, Killer Miller EX? Yeah, there's some cool 3D games. Like, there's stuff like Tony Hawk and Max Payne, which aren't 3D per se, but they're like isometric, and the character models are polygonal. I think Jet Set Radio might have been like that too. There's a bunch of those like 3D games translated to isometric GBA games that are kind of better than you might expect. Yeah, I figured, you know, they have Brosnan on the box, right? You can see it right there. But the character model in the game looks like the model from Agent Under Fire. And we were looking at some of the promotional material and trailers and stuff for this before we play the other versions. And there seem to be pictures of this game that had a non-Pierce Brosnan Bond model, which seemed to me like it was the Agent Under Fire version. But it was also really confusing because there were a bunch of like magazine covers that were promoting this game, but not at release, but like when the game was announced, that had the Agent Under Fire Bond. And it was a little ambiguous whether or not they were just using like existing press assets from the last game, because there maybe weren't any new assets for this game, or if EA provided new press assets for this newly announced Bond game, which may or may not have had any public footage yet that featured like the previous non-Brosnan Bond. It's quite peculiar, because it's really weird with Agent Under Fire. That game never had Brosnan as Bond, to my knowledge, but it did at one point or another feature John Cleese as R. Because it's really weird when you play that game. The character Q isn't in it. The character R is there, but he's not played by John Cleese, and he doesn't look anything like John Cleese. In fact, he doesn't really look like Desmond Llewellyn, but he certainly looks more like Q than R. Which kind of begs the question of, if you don't have the likeness, why on earth would you put the character R in the game and not Q? But as it turns out, it's R because at one point or another in development, they did have John Cleese's likeness, and he provided the voice. There's like unearthed footage of pre-release versions of the game that features John Cleese. So for one reason or another, John Cleese was taken out of the game. So who knows if there were some complications to juggling the licensing for Brosnan's likeness as well, and it had to be, you know, maybe there exists versions of all the FMV for the cutscenes of the PC version of the game with the Agent Under Fire model, or they just cobble that together to take screenshots of it to truncate them down for this version. It's quite mysterious, but it definitely does not look like it's Pierce Brosnan's model that we're seeing in these cutscenes. Which game came from the canceled version? The PC version of The World's Not Enough. Agent Under Fire started as the PS2 version of The World's Not Enough. Because The World's Not Enough came out, well, 3 separate games from different developers came out on PS1, N64, and Game Boy Color. And those came out in 2000, I believe. So at some point or another, there was, like, after that point, there was being work done on a PS2 version, which would not have been a port of either of those, I suppose, but kind of a new game. And at some point or another during development, I guess they figured that, hey, we'll just do our own original thing instead. And that became Agent Under Fire. And that was for PS2. And the Xbox, and I guess GameCube version, came out like a few months later. With some slight changes and like added features. And yeah, I think it did say in the game that it's like id Tech, so that makes sense. It's Quake 3, because I believe Nightfire on PC was by Gearbox, and that was on the Half-Life engine. Because there's some like Valve something or other in the credits. So I don't know. It's like a bit of a mess how everything fits together, and there's so different games. But it's fascinating. Makes a project like this all the more exciting and fun. I wonder if this has any kind of checkpoints. Spy on the secret meeting, remain undetected. I guess watch laser is fine. Feels like the levels might just be cramped enough that like getting lost or going the wrong way is not much of an option. Okay, don't go that way, I guess. Wait, I see. Pretty cool. Oh, okay, we made it. Here it is, Mr. Drake. The missile guidance module we stole from the Americans. Trust this effort brings us one step closer to globalization. You've saved our technicians considerable time, Mayhew. Can we accelerate the other Nightfire elements as well? Absolutely, sir. We're well underway training assault teams for the... Get your hands off me! Powder in the hallway, sir. Looking for the powder room. Lockpicks and a 9mm? Hey, it's a tough neighborhood. This security breach leads back to Japan. It's your head, Mayhew. Secure this. Doubt she's alone. Lock the castle down now. Take this woman to the cable car station. I don't want her interrogation to upset the guests. It's a good thing one guy was bald and this guy's black hair, because otherwise it'd be tough to tell them apart. Interrogation? What kind of party is this anyway? Use Zoe and retrieve weapons chip. Alright. So, weapons allowed now, I take it. Yeah, it's like, a lot of stuff is like recognizable, but it's very simplified and truncated. But, I mean, they do a good enough job given the circumstances. Okay, they just start walking up the table. Pretty good. Alright. The enemy characters are like surprisingly detailed, like we're meant to be able to see them from surprisingly like up close. Kowloon is the Glock. Oh yeah, jump. Select to reload. I'm gonna assume that this one is not automatic. It's kind of hard to tell if it's meant to be or not. I can hold a button, so it's kind of automatic, I guess. Doesn't exactly fire at a realistic Glock 18 rate of fire, but that's okay. Oh, the turning is... It's something. That's pretty good aim. Bless the strafe buttons.
Let's go.
Was that her? It might have been. Yeah, there's the cable car station. Is that the briefcase? Is that... Wait. A suitcase. Or is this a suitcase gun? Oh yeah, because in the PC version, she retrieves the suitcase. Like, we meet up with her and she's like, oh yeah, I got it. But we don't even have to get it. Okay, but the suit... I don't know what the suitcase was. I mean, it clearly wasn't the briefcase from the meeting. And it didn't seem like I had a suitcase gun in my inventory. Anyway, are we gonna have to fight a helicopter? Oh, there's a rocket launcher there. I just want to get a look at her model. It looks pretty cool. That's... Yeah, it looks like it's very kind of Duke 3D. It's like a render from... It doesn't... It looks like higher res than if it would just be the in-game model. But it's a little hard to tell. I mean, high res, maybe not the right word for it, but you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look... I mean, I guess then again, if it was like a 2002 PC game model that you rendered in this resolution, you'd kind of... It'd be hard to tell. But I don't know. Stylistically, I mentioned Duke 3, but it reminds me almost more of something like Diablo 2 or something. Just in a first-person perspective. It's kind of endearing. Alright. Sentinel. Okay, I actually have to aim, I guess. It doesn't look like an attack helicopter. Whoa. Oh, the aiming is so difficult. Oh, we got it. Oh, wow, okay. Oh my god. Mission completed, 15,000, whatever, 156,000, bronze 190. You need at least a bronze to advance? What? I completed the mission, but I didn't complete it well enough. What on earth? Well, we got the sick-ass Nightfire menu theme. M is like, well, that wasn't nearly cool enough for my standards. Well, the level is pretty damn short, so I have a feeling that, assuming we can actually get through the levels and perform well enough, the game's going to be pretty short. But Yeah, score. It doesn't give us a breakdown of the score, so it doesn't tell us what it actually rewards and what we should have been doing to get bronze. I reckon we got 0 bonus because that's maybe based on time, because we weren't exactly speedrunning. It didn't seem like we were given, like, breach castle walls. Yeah, we sort of fucked up sneaking through the truck, but would that even have worked? I don't know. Time didn't seem bad. I'm not sure. I mean, we don't have much choice other than to try again, do we? Oh, there we go. Stats. Bond bonus. Okay, so I was gonna say. Oh yeah. Time 8:40 par 5 minutes. We got deducted 43,000 points for dilly-dallying. Accuracy was pretty rough. So I was gonna say, you know, it didn't seem like this game would have bond moves, but now I guess it does, and that's probably what the bond bonus is. No, we needed 190,000 for bronze, and we got 156,000. I was gonna say, you know, well, screw the truck then. Why bother waiting for it and fucking around and just slipping off of it? Knowing that the route is extremely straightforward, I feel like we could just run through it. We'd probably take out a few less enemies, but fewer missed shots is going to be better accuracy. Because there's nothing, you know, what else even happens in the stage that would have gotten us bond bonus aside from sneaking in on the truck? I don't know. But that seems so awkward. Alright, let's skip this. Whoops. Wrong. Okay, so let's try. I'm just curious because we can like restart quickly anyway. Alright, I completely missed the truck. I think I can climb. Oh! I'll just run from here then. Oh, I can't just walk through the door. Because I have to wait for the truck to be there. I'm holding up the truck. I'm getting stuck. Let's try again. Alright, so that means that there's no benefit really to running ahead from the truck. So I can... Oh, never mind. So I'll give it one more shot. Trying to drop down there was perhaps ill-advised. Ah, almost. I was holding forward, but I wasn't able to keep pace with the truck well enough. Like, I'm trying to not miss too many shots. Still definitely doing better than last time. At least as far as time goes. I don't know if I could take a better route here. I don't know if you want to non-lethally subdue someone and if that's some kind of benefit. So, but I would assume that the time, you know, we did poorly enough to get deducted points. I don't know if par is 0 points. It's pretty fucked though. You don't even get like 0 time points. You get literal minus points. If we got a 0 on time, we would have completed it because we got like 166,000 or something or whatever. No, hang on. I don't even know. Well, fuck it. Whatever. I don't want to try to do the math. We'll just see how this works out. Whoops. Ah. Try to awkwardly swap weapons without jumping. Just like trying to stand on the same floor as him so I can easily shoot him. Oh! I fucking shot her. Friendly fire. I was about to note before that she was like standing over there in the corner. Oh, that's on me. But there's no like alarm or anything, so I'm holding forward. Oh my god. I wonder if I can get some kind of partial credit for at least landing on the truck. No, there's a guy behind me, but I can't be fucked. More than one guy. If I got him, I should get some extra points for that, I suppose. He's got like his back turned. I don't know. Oh, we took a shit ton of damage, I just realized. Yeah, I'm not sure about these guys' accent. But I mean, I'm guessing they didn't record unique voiceover for the Game Boy Advance version. Probably something from the other versions of the game. Oh! Okay, fall damage. But I guess there's a full vest there anyway, so taking hits there early on doesn't really matter. I'm a little concerned though if like what level of optimization each level is going to require of us. How to like fucking speedrun it. But I mean, we'll see when we clear this, like how well we did versus like what we needed. Oh. Luckily, they have like pretty generous hitboxes at least. Ugh. This kind of look spring that can mess you up a little bit. Fuck's sake. Oh, I'm... No wonder. Didn't have the gun I thought I had.
Let's go.
I don't know if there's something we could have done maybe earlier on with like the taking out the spotlights or something. Sure. In terms of like additional bond score. Nice. Alright, well that was faster at least. Oh, we didn't get to see this last time, so we did it. Alright, helicopter's gone. We don't get to see... Oh, there we go. I was going to say we don't get to see Virgil crash. Nope, we do. We're climbing out. Hang on to me, Zoe. How'd you never ask? Yeah, this is from all from like the PC version, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because she's even in her like winter uniform. Landing, James. Why do you always seem to end up on top? No center of gravity? Wait, what just happened? I think we're seeing some stuff combined on a screen that's not meant to be here. I think we're seeing something that's supposed to say bronze on the far right. Stats saved. Lower center of gravity 007. Rise? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, so we got 25, but hang on. So what was... I guess we can't see on this screen what our total score was. But wait, did we need 190? Didn't we just like fucking extremely barely make it? I mean, I guess that's why we got bronze. I mean, then we still had... Okay, so 60% accuracy is not great, but... We got the exact same enemy kills, I guess, because we got the same 83% dispatched / subdued number. Yeah, I reckon if you can manage to land on the truck and surf it all the way to the entrance, that's got to count for something. But we still... There were still parts of the level map that I didn't quite explore. There might be other things that we could have seen that could have perhaps led to some other opportunities for a bond bonus. I have no idea what that suitcase was, but I don't know, we grabbed it. I have a feeling that the game, like, they added this bronze medal gatekeeping to make the game, prevent the game from being finishable in 45 minutes. Because if you just like take it easy and just go through the level, it's like very basic and straightforward. And this level is in fact one of the more elaborate levels in at least the Xbox version. In the PC version, I wouldn't say it stands out in the same way as being so elaborate, but it's still like pretty large just kind of geographically. And like in neither version of the game is the castle level like an introductory, super basic, really short, tiny level. Which means that I think we can probably expect the general length and complexity of levels to probably not deviate too far from this. And if that's the case, yeah, they're probably going to be pretty short. And we might be expected to kind of grind the speedrun in order to be allowed to continue. Like I said, I would imagine it's just something to, like, using whatever means they have to kind of stretch out the lastability of the game. I wouldn't call it an anti-rental measure, because that type of thing was usually. I mean, you could use you'd use whatever you could think of, I guess, to just like try to prevent someone from finishing it like over a weekend or whatever. But that usually meant like arbitrary weird difficulty spikes and stuff. Here, I don't. I mean, obviously, it wouldn't literally be an anti-rental measure because you wouldn't be renting a GBA game, I don't think. But I feel like it might be more, like I said, well, we just wanted the game to last just a little bit longer, so try to make sure that people aren't, you know, that people might have to do a level a couple of times even if they reach the ending of it. I don't know. I don't know that I well, I do know that I don't really agree with that choice. I think you get plenty of incentive to stick with it if there's like fun bonus stuff, like if the score and medals amount to something, like say in the console Nightfire game, where grinding for medals and doing the platinums with all the bond icon hunting and whatever, like that's cool and that's fun. It makes you want to stick with it. This forces you to stick with it, which I don't think is as good of an idea. But can we see now? Oh, there we go. Okay, so 228,000. We got, you know, with some margin. If we got 0 time, we would have barely scraped through, but we got 25,000 instead of minus 20 something. I mean, we'll see. When we played through the console game, for example, we started getting bronze or gold medals first try. Then after a while, we started getting silver medals first try. Then after a while, we got bronze medals first try, and I think at some point we might even completed a level without getting bronze. So if this game gets more and more demanding to reach a bronze, like maybe we'll have to just look at a guide to see, like, are there some tricks, like what can we do to get bond bonus, and if that, you know, is that going to make the difference? But I think levels are probably going to be simple and short enough that I'm going to want to take my time the first time through anyway, just to orient myself. But I don't know if, like, levels are probably going to be short enough that redoing them 6 times isn't going to be, like, horrible. If that's what it comes down to. I think that would have been an easy first time bronze off stream. Well, well, for the longer talks, I would have paused the game. But I think for me, I think it would not have been difficult to get a bronze first try if you were aware that it's like on a time limit. I had no idea that it was, so I was taking my time. And I probably would have played that way. And in fact, I will probably play that way for upcoming levels. But not because necessarily I want to look at things and talk about them with stream, but just because that's how I would want to play the first time anyway. You're right that it's probably exacerbated by talking to chat, but I'd still probably not be inclined to try to race through it on my first attempt. I say that, but I don't know. Now that I am aware, I'm going to feel some pressure to try to go fast. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so unsurprisingly, we go directly to Mayhew's estate. In both previous versions, there's a level in between here. In the Xbox version, we escape with Zoe, and there's a vehicle level where you go down these slopes and you're being chased by dudes on snowmobiles, and she's driving and you've got the turret to shoot the guys. In the PC version, there's a completely different level where you infiltrate the airfield so you can steal a plane to fly out of there, which was actually a pretty cool level. It was awesome to actually get to do some like stealthy, sneaky spy shit with Zoe. I thought that was an awesome, cool addition that made her character a little more, you know, substantial. But I was kind of expecting this very scenario, because neither of those levels really advance the plot, you could quite easily excise them and just say, well, and then Bond got away. So here's then mission 2, Mayhew's estate. Bond, MI6 has been contacted by Alexander Mayhew, Raphael Drake's chief of Asian operations. Mayhew fears that Drake intends to kill him, holding him responsible for their little setback in Austria. In exchange for our protection, Mayhew will deliver evidence exposing Drake's master plan, codenamed Nightfire, a scheme that Mayhew insists threatens global security. Mayhew has one demand, to be brought in by James Bond himself. Our informant awaits you at his Japanese estate. Good luck, 007. Kind of hard to follow the visuals. Name's Bond. James Bond. And we can check that off the list. It's hard to follow the visuals while trying to read the text. Ah, Miss Bond at last. This is Kiko Hayashi, my bodyguard. I show you she's quite skilled. No doubt. Nightfire data, Mayhew? What are these noises? Not expecting other guests. Please stay with Alex. Drake, quick! We must get to the security bunker. Alright, we got these guys with these voice clips. So I reckon this level is going to be quite simplified. Also, these guys just look like JC Denton. Pretty funny. Oh boy. Alright, shotgun time, I guess. Oh, okay. Automatic doors. This is bunker. It looks like a security room of some kind. Oh. He's just hanging out here. Yep. Cowering. I don't mind the frame rate being low, but the fact that it like changes so drastically. Did he just do a fucking sideways tactical combat roll? That was pretty good. The frame rate being so erratic is a little bit of an issue. I reckon it's just like kind of going straight forward. This doesn't feel like much of a shotgun. Oh, there's dudes up there. There's no like actual shotgun individual round reloading. Dude, strafing upstairs is a little bit iffy. Okay, he's just standing on the railing. Sure, why not? Oh, I see. Okay. Made it through the first section. You're looking for is locked in my bedroom safe. This is the key. Just feed it to the dragon. Bond looking incredulous. Dragon? Right. Keep your head down. I'll be back for you. Also, could you wipe the hard drive on my computer? I don't want to leave a data trail for Drake to follow. Please protect my servants. They're like family to me. Bond like, sure. Yeah, I was curious. I was almost thinking for half a second that they would have taken that part out of it, because it's like, that's a little too mechanically complex. Maybe we don't have to rescue his geisha slaves. Yeah, the driving stages are only in the Xbox well, they're in the console game. They're not only in the Xbox version, but they're not in the PC game either. You're forgetting that there's an objective screen that we can look at. So we don't even have an objective to like rescue his servants. Visibly melts. Greetings. Why is this Bond not using Brosnan's likeness? That is a good question. I don't have an answer. other than for legal reasons, I would assume. Because, again, they're using... All the cutscene images are stills from the cutscenes from the PC version of the game. And that version has Brosnan's likeness, so they would have had to deliberately re-render those cutscenes, or at least images from them, using a different Bond character model. And this game came out months after the PC and console versions, so it's not like they didn't have it secured yet or something. Maybe it, you know, the likeness rights would have been on kind of a per platform basis, and they didn't feel like it was worth negotiating the rights. I mean, in fairness, we can make out that it doesn't look like Pierce Brosnan, but how much different would it really have looked? Like, would it have been worth it for them to spend that money for these shitty JPEG cutscenes? I find it too, you know, I find it difficult to fault them too much, if that's what it came down to, you know. Anyway, let's see if we can figure this out. Covert sniper rifle. Oh, we got additional objectives. We just didn't get the objectives yet, I see. Someone's noticed us. Shit, the bullet travel speed is not instant. Alright, we do have a little bit more of an open kind of level here, I guess. Oh, there's the little bathhouse. Don't stand fucking behind her. Alright, just running on over there. Alright. That's a weird looking model. She doesn't quite look like in the other game. She's wearing a dress for one. Actually, I saw that we got some objectives. Did you actually get one for rescuing the babes? Wait. There's no other door? There's armor. I missed it. Ugh. There wasn't any... Okay. I thought enemies like came through here somehow, but no, that's just a corner. Okay, I guess we're going inside here again. Wait, what the f- I missed the armor again. There we go. Armor vest collected. What's up, Icarus? Ah, this is a little bit clunky, but pretty manageable. Oh, maybe we just have to swim through here. Or not. In the other versions, we get a little cutscene of this lady telling us something, but not here, I guess. So, I mean, obviously we can, like, shoot through here, but... Oh, wait, did I... I don't know what this is. Something I should shoot. Not. I'm a little confused, to be honest. Do one of these walls a door? I don't have an actual, like, interact button, by the way. I have an action button, but it fires my gun, so... I'm open for suggestions. Doesn't seem like I can, like, sneak under here anywhere, right? Was I supposed to zoom in him with the sniper rifle? I don't know, maybe. I mean, it didn't have a lot of zoom. I can't, like, zoom in further. But maybe I can... I accidentally strafing. Okay, he just walked to the right. So his 3 pixels are perfectly overlapping the 3 pixels of the hostage. Not helpful. See if maybe I can... Whatever that green thing is, I guess it's in 3D. Is that an arrow? I thought it was like a fucking hammock or something. Or a little worm. Well, if we can't figure this out, we'll do better next time. But yeah, I guess I might have wanted to snipe in here. Did I die or does it just go crouch in the corner? That button will just shoot the gun. Like, the polygons can be a little swimmy at times too. I can't see either of them from here. Well, no, okay, I guess. Hostage? Because I'm thinking, like, am I supposed to be able to interact with... Oh, maybe I grapple in there. Maybe that's what that is. There we go. Oh my god, the fucking hurt boxes. Alright, we're learning. Is this game good? Not quite living up to my lofty expectations, I'll say that. There's stuff here. But there's a lot that has some, let's say, questionable execution. Alright. Do the fucking tactical roll.
This way.
Either of them hit me. Where I find the stuff, right? Yeah, and also enemies, but also stuff. Alright, go over here. I like that this version at least had little dust clouds when we hit enemies. Something that was not present in the PC game.
This way.
Shotgun seemed a little awkward to use, to be honest. If we make it to the team transition, there's a full armor. And the final game, the final like score rating only seems to care what health we are at when the stage ends, not how many hits we've sustained. It kind of doesn't matter how we do. I think I have to take out all these guys before he'll open the security room. Oh yeah, because it is past here. So we still do have to rescue the bathroom girl. Okay, so the sniper rifle probably is not bad to use here. Aiming for the guy in the back, but sure. Ugh.
Don't make me hurt you, woman.
Still takes like more than one shot. So, alright. One step to the right. Nice, okay. This bedroom's probably like in the next room over or something. I don't think there's much more left. Oh, one other hostage there. Oh, there's the kitchen. I was about to say, like, is the kitchen hostage present? Was. But there's no, like, sneaking, taking the backwards path into the little bathroom. Okay, we actually have some kind of branching paths here. Armor. Alright. This looks like a bedroom. Is the dragon over here? No. Well, yeah, it is actually. I can see that's a key card from PC version. The graphic they used there. Okay, so probably in the next room is the computer that we have to wipe. I wonder if we fight the ninja boss. Whoa! Just saw a little pixel soup. We could aim upwards, but he just dies in. I gotta jump up this. Oh my god, another hostage. Oh! Bond bonus? I picked up bond bonus. So that's how that works. I'm trying to find the staircase to go down. So let me check. Okay, so rescue Mayhew servants is another objective. Oh, we haven't found the computer yet, so there's probably like one last hostage. What's up, Hoffman? Looks almost as good as the PC game. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Zetsubera, what is up? Yeah, so the 007 tokens are in the console game, but they aren't the Bond moves. They're a separate thing. Basically, the way it works is once you've completed a game or a level and get the gold medal, you can then replay it and aim for the platinum medal. And one of the basically things you have to do to get the platinum is to collect every 007 token. Which kind of adds a little element of exploring and like level mastery of knowing where to find all that stuff. It's not like the most elegant addition, but it's kind of cool. Like, it's still only there for an extra layer of challenge, so I think it's kind of neat. But here it's like a very simplified version of kind of Bond. I mean, it's not really, I was gonna say a simplified version of the Bond move concept, but it isn't really that either. The PC game had Bond moves, but I think we managed to get like one or two in the entire game. They were very kind of hidden. But the whole scoring stuff in the PC version is really weird too, because you don't, like, you just play through the entire game in linear order. There's no menu where you pick a mission and try to replay a mission for a better score. You just, like, there's no option to do that. And once you finish a level in that game, the score result screen stays up for about 2 seconds, and then you just advance to the next level without pressing a button. So you don't even have time to look at what your final score was. So it's not exactly a heavily emphasized part of the game. Got multiple rooms here. I don't know if they can hurt them, but I sure don't want to put them between me and the enemies. Alright, the last one. Servants. That looked like a computer over there. Fucking Macintosh Plus. There we go. Alright, so now we just go... No, never mind. I was gonna say we go back to the bunker. We're finished here, Mayhew. Let's go. What about Kiko? Have you seen her? She's a big girl. I'm sure she can take care of herself. Oh, the ninja might be cutscene only. We'll find out, I guess. Wait here. Let's get moving. Ah! Oh shit, the versus screen. I guess we're probably gonna have to fight him. Oh, that might be hard. Well, this is not something I would ideally like to do at the very end of a level. Oh, well, we got him. Okay, cutscene. I think that means we clear the level. Code key you found in my safe will lead you to the Nightfire evidence, the Phoenix building in Tokyo. Need the password to the mainframe. It's Afterburn. Tokyo. I thought the evidence was here, Mayhew. A little extra insurance policy to keep me alive. A lot of good it did me, eh? Alex, promise you Drake will pay. Kiko, you're not safe here. Come with me. Oh, silver? Okay, sure. I wasn't expecting that, but we'll take it. I have to go back through the menu to see how we actually... No, I guess we do get the stats. Yeah, we just don't see the score requirements or anything, but we can see the stats. Nice, 100% bond bonus. We killed every enemy also, apparently. Oh, we just got part-time. With 3 seconds to spare. And that got us 0 points. Good work. Do it again. I don't know. Hello, I'm Franken. Not sure if I said hello to everyone. People are dropping in here. Welcome, welcome. I mean, we talked about it, of course. It came up. There's some 3D stuff on the GBA. There's some fake 3D stuff. I wouldn't say that this is the most impressive, but it's not unimpressive. I think it's, you know, as with anything like this, it's always a matter of balance of, you know, between ambition and actual capabilities, sort of playability. It's not exactly, you know, a 3D kind of thing, but a game that comes to mind for me is, well, 2 games, I guess. Batman Returns and The Adventure of Batman and Robin, because they both kind of use the same engine and system for the Mega CD. The Mega CD version of Batman Returns is basically the Mega Drive game, but they added like 5 driving levels and a way worse CD soundtrack, and the extra levels make an already very difficult game much harder, so it's fucked all around. And The Adventures of Batman and Robin on the Mega CD is just only driving state. It's a, you know, driving game, but it has basically a full episode of the animated series that's like exclusive to that game. I don't think it has like a full 22 minutes of animation, but it's like probably 10 or 15 minutes of animation or something like that between the levels. And it's done by, I think it's TMS, like one of the actual good animation studios that made the nice looking episodes of that show. It's not cool for that reason. But those games are like super technically impressive. They make good use of the Mega CD's sprite scaling hardware capabilities, but they also go like way above and beyond in like spectacle. So they're cool games, and they would never have been able to run on stock Mega Drive hardware without the Mega CD, but they just pushed like way further than what they were really capable of. So as a result, the game runs at like a very low frame rate, and it's kind of chugging. It's like if they'd removed some of that stuff, just had a, you know, slightly fewer vehicles, slightly fewer obstacles, slightly fewer projectiles and particles and whatever, and like bump the frame rate up, those games would have played so much better, and it would have been awesome. I don't know if you can do some like overclocking stuff to make those game runs run more smoothly, but those examples come to mind for me as like games that could have been, they are impressive, but they could have been really impressive and really fun, but as it stands, it's more like theoretically impressive kind of. And I guess this is a little bit in that category where, I mean, realistically, I don't know what they really could have done. I mean, I'm sure there's like code optimization and stuff, whatever, but in terms of like reducing the visuals to make it run smoothly. Like, you know, would it run better if there were less or more low resolution textures on the environment? I don't know, maybe. But I mean, the geometry for the levels is already extremely basic. So yeah, it's kind of cool. But I think what hurts this the most is like isn't the technical stuff. It's the turning, like the weird acceleration on the turning, making it very difficult to do slight adjustments. Because if you just like tap left or right on the D-pad, like your aim hardly budges. So you hold it for a little bit, and then you just like overshoot it. So you kind of like overcorrect back and forth, making it quite difficult. And the same thing with like movement. There's like weird inertia to overcome. So it's really hard to like strafe back and forth. Ben has 256. Thanks for the follow. So many fives in the stats, yeah. Yep, indeed. Indeed. All right. Phoenix Tower. Makes sense that this is the next mission. So this is like the halfway point in the game. I wouldn't be shocked if there's like 6 levels in this game. That would kind of check out, I think. Yeah, the controls have exactly one toggle. Oh, it's not even in here. There we go, controls. There's 2 settings, A and B. And basically, it's whether or not we have individual strafing on L and R, or whether we use B as a strafe modifier and instead get to reload on L instead of select. But I would much rather have the 2 strafe buttons. The movement isn't phenomenal, you know, it's could have been a lot better. I'd be curious. I don't know why anyone on Earth would bother, but like theoretically, I reckon you could make some kind of ROM hack that would address it with the kind of inertia acceleration stuff. But you know, who gives a shit, really? Well, I think we had some kind of, what do we call it? Teething. I don't know. First level. We were kind of getting the hang of what to expect and how the game works. And I mean, if we had gotten through level 2, if we hadn't gotten the friendly fire and we actually reached the end on our first attempt, we wouldn't have completed it just from the time of fucking around figuring out the grapple hook. But I think I'm curious about this level because the equivalent level here has a bunch of stealth and shit, so I'm curious to see how that's going to work out. But after level 2, I don't feel as afraid that it's going to be super demanding and super escalating in difficulty. But we'll see. There's retro achievements for this. Well, knock yourself tough, buddy. I'm going to stay clear, I think. So I want to speculate for a moment here, and maybe someone either knows or would want to look it up. And if you do, don't share it with me, please. But just speculating on the levels. Because the main... Like, if we think of what the levels are in the other versions of the game, right? These 2 levels actually do typically follow one after the other. So this is the Phoenix Tower stealth level where we break in and sneak around to steal the data. And then as we get the data, there's going to be a bunch of guards, and we kind of run out the front door, guns blazing. And from the data we find... we learn that there's some shady shit going on in a power plant that's apparently also right next to Tokyo. So the next level after this is like the power plant. And after the power plant, I believe in both versions of the game, even though the levels themselves are a bit different, you come back to Phoenix Tower. The second Phoenix Tower level is like the one immediately following that. Forget the exact, and we'll see how the plot's relayed here, but basically we meet up with Hiko, and she reveals herself to be a villain working for Drake all along. And Bond and Dominique are there, and Dominique gets pushed off the building, and we just have to kind of scrappily escape some kind of assassination attempt, and then we have to sort of fight our way through the office level one more time but with like much more security and some more kind of set pieces to get through. And I think after that, right, is when you basically have the console game has one other driving level somewhere in there. I forget how that works and when that happens, but whatever. The next major plot beat, anyway, is like traveling to Drake's tropical island where he's got his hidden fortress. And there's probably some underwater part to get to it. It's a little bit different in the different versions. And he's got like some kind of missile launch bay where he shoots rockets into space. So you grab a rocket, you go into space for the final confrontation. So it'll be interesting. Like, I figure this game could do well to do what the console games did of getting 2 whole levels out of one set of, you know, one environment. So it would make sense that we might have, and maybe there's more than 6 levels. If we have mission 4 at the power plant, mission 5 back at Phoenix Tower, mission 6 is like Tropical Island, and maybe mission 7 is the space battle. Something like that. Would kind of make sense. And given that this seems to be based more on the PC version, I mean, not so much the level designs, but the fact that the cutscenes are all taken from that version, I reckon we probably might have a showdown with Virgil at the end of the power plant level, because that happens in the PC version, but not in the console version. Anyway, we'll find out. For now, let's go to Phoenix Tower. Alex's code key and password should get you into the Phoenix mainframe, but they'll have the whole building locked down by now. Anything can be penetrated with a proper tool. While you've been hard at work, 007, so has Q-Brush. You'll find several useful items have been added to your inventory. More to cycle through, but thanks. These are magnetic grapples. Use them to climb metal surfaces. Should a more conventional entry prove difficult. Tranquilizer darts for inconveniently placed guards, silent and non-lethal. Decryptor to hack computers, keypads, elevator controls, etc., etc. Finally, the Q-worm. Plug this virus into one of the computer terminals, and the worm allows MI6 to monitor the systems. Please try to return these tools in usable condition, but I shan't hold my breath. Q out. James, we need to hurry. The guards change shift in 30 minutes. So yeah, that's all from the PC version. So I guess, is the climbing shit gonna be in this? Otherwise, why would they keep it in the cutscene? It's really stupid that they used that sliding transition. He looks like Pierce Brosnan now, by the way. That's peculiar. Like when they transition between the various cue screens, they could have just hard cut from one picture to the next. It's really weird that he slides out of frame and the next picture slides in. It's a very strange way of doing it. All right. Remain undetected. We're gonna like find the elevators or whatever. Are we just in the office? Find a door. Wait, hang on. Okay. So we just skipped the entire infiltration part. Yeah, okay. We didn't have to enter through the parking garage, which makes the opening, like, of him climbing under the van to enter the parking garage look a little weird, but whatever. I mean, I guess it's implied that that's how we got in, and then we just took an elevator to the office floor. Install Q-worm on office computer systems. So remain undetected. I wonder if that means that I'm allowed to... Okay, so I have the stunner. That's, I guess, what I want equipped. Guess that's a camera. I can't fucking see where that's facing. Hard there. Music's pretty sick. Nice little stealth jazz. He's fucking drifting. This second door here. Can I go inside? I guess not. Is the door blocking the other door? Okay. At least we start here. There's no like getting to the. Wait, is there another camera here? Fucking hell. Okay, so. Oh, okay. I was curious to see how this would work. Cover blown. Because in the PC version, you have like a surprising amount of leniency with being discovered, and they like take a little moment to run over to the alarm button. But I guess I'm supposed to like go through here so I can get past the camera. But they also seem like pretty... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say pretty fucking blind. Not that blind, I guess. I think this is like, it's gonna seem a bit rough, but realistically, I think if you have the solution, the path to take, it's probably not gonna be that. Like, it's probably just pretty specific and not necessarily extremely demanding. My best guess. So I will wait for the other guard that comes from the left to swing into this hallway and turn around. That works. Even though we get this weapon and we start with it equipped, I have to assume that we're allowed to use it. But, you know, maybe try to avoid it unless necessary. We'll try. Oh. I guess the darker doors are just inaccessible. So here's a computer. I guess that means Q-worm. Deck. For later use, I suppose. Oh, there's not actually a second door for us to leave through, so we're coming back out here. Guard's still on the floor. That's good. I think that little gray pile is him. I want to say that there was another dude over here somewhere. Yep. Microwave. That's not a computer. I wasn't sure if he was... I thought he was probably going to be further off, but then I was like, wait, I should turn to look, and yeah, I could have avoided that. So a little bit of trial and error, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. And it kind of comes down to how long this part is, and I reckon there aren't checkpoints. It kind of doesn't seem like there are. I don't really have to go over very fast here because I still have to wait. At least taking out this guy that we took out. I mean, I might have gotten lucky, but it didn't seem like taking him out was all that difficult. Or like super finicky, which is a good sign. Oh, I have the fucking trank darts too. But I'd rather not rely on them really because you don't have to use them. Oh, so maybe I could sneak past to the right now. Fuck it, it's too late. I don't really know how far away he goes. Camera there too, it looks like. Go to the right. Shit is so weird. Yeah, this looks quite similar to the PC game. Pretty tense. Gonna be a little tricky. Hopefully they're not going to wake up. They're going to be visible from in here, I wonder. I'm not sure what like actual sort of route guy patrols. Yeah, he's like turning around over there. Pretty tense. Fucking hell. I don't know if I needed to do that, but I was scared. Okay, cool. We're done with that. Okay, this is like kind of cool. I might have actually needed to do this to get past. There was like a laser. Yeah. Cycling is like so cumbersome. Okay, access to the outer balcony. I think this is it. Oh, okay. Hopefully that's it for the stealth. Yeah, I think the way we're looking at it and playing it isn't doing it any favors from a visual presentation standpoint. Oh, I don't think that was the whole level. We didn't get what we came here for. We finished the first part. We got to the cutscene. But it looks like climbing, at least, is thankfully not something we have to do manually. There's the helicopter mid-boss. That we just skipped. Thanks. Okay. I was gonna say, surely we're not forced to remain undetected at this point. The helicopter shot at us. I think they know we're here. Yeah, maybe for some reason they couldn't use Brosnan wearing a suit. But now that we're in our tactical jumpsuit, it's fine to be Brosnan again. Very, very odd. Now there's probably going to be armed guards just shooting at us. No doors. exploration at this point. Phoenix, oh, so this... Oh, I guess we gotta hack... thing. The Q deck. Looks a little awkward. Oh! Yep, that sure is the, Do I hack this again? Nope, I guess not. Aha! Yeah, okay. I see. Yeah, we didn't collect a 007 token, and I don't know what we're doing on time. Install a worm here. Trying to like smoothly strafe around corners, not that easy. There's so much going on with the objectives. Okay, cool. So I guess we just like gotta get to the exit, escape to the roof. Probably just continuing in the same linear direction. We gotta hack the elevator button. Think so, but who the fuck? Oh, elevator. He said something about elevators, didn't he? Oh, maybe not. If it looks like there's nothing there, like it's like an elevator, it's like a glass elevator on the outside. But I guess that's not it. Oh, we're gonna like fail the level because we're fucking around now. Just double check. Escape to the roof. I'm pretty sure there's no like place else to go here. Could be wrong. Dead. Okay. We just enter the black void. We must get out of here, James. It's a trap. Put that together when your boyfriend's chopper nearly clipped me off the building. You don't understand. Trey couldn't open Mayhew's safe without the password, and he's not going to let the Nightfire files leave with you. These stairs go directly to the roof. You'll find a parachute. It's your only chance of escape. Monique, if Drake finds you out... Do you think you're the only spy who can make someone trust you completely? Please, James, go now. I think... Oh, shit. I hope there's an armor. Yeah, this is like the helicopter boss fight area. Do we just run for the... Here that we're gonna have to fight dudes, and we're not really well equipped for that. Meant to reload? You reload on select, by the way. That doesn't open. Seemed like we could just walk through here. Something over there, but I guess that doesn't look like a parachute. Because this didn't open either. Guessing it's not in this little pool and that we're not meant to jump on top of the railing to get over here. Like, I don't know, but that looks like that could be a little parachute standing there. Wait, do I Hotch laser this? Or do I? There's nothing. It doesn't look like there's anything to hack here. No. Oh my god, this is so. Oh, I can hack. I mean, there's no like keypad or anything. So strange. Oh, there's another door here. Nice. Oh. Armor plates, but no full refill. I just want like 2 seconds of peace and quiet to hack this fucking thing. I like that he's like one-handing all these guns like fucking GoldenEye. Alright. Of course. Fucking knew it. We, yeah, we don't need to stick around to fight the helicopters. I wonder if we failed because we were standing on the roof for 30 seconds too long. But this is what I expect most levels to be like. A research attempt and then a proper run. Alright, okay, we're a fair bit over time there. Poor accuracy as well. Good base score for dispatching enemies. The thing is now I know that I can use, I had 2 darts left over, so I could have spent, there's guys that we have to wait for a long time, like the first guard, or the second technically. I think we can just dart him and save a good 20 seconds right there. Just kind of running through, knowing what to do, I think it'll be... I could easily see saving at least a minute or 2. And there's probably more just from increased confidence in knowing the level. I mean, even like reaching the roof, I was fucking around by that elevator for another like minute. So it should be fine. But we're gonna take a break there. I need to go to the bathroom. I need to go stretch a little bit before we make one more attempt. But yeah, I mean, imagine if we just finished when we finished the first level, we'd probably be done by mission 5 now, or at least done with mission 4. So, and doing what they can to to stretch things out a little bit. But yeah, I shall be back in just a couple of minutes. See you guys very shortly. All right, I have returned. All right, so trying to think. Routing. The very first guard we can just sneak past. I think the second one will save the most time by darting. Otherwise, I think we chose the right guards to dart. Once I hack that first computer, I don't know that it's worth it to run in to get the Glock, because I think it's a stronger gun. You shoot faster than with the P99, but you have so little ammo for it that I'm like hesitant to try to use it in a shootout anyway. So you could save a few seconds by not going to grab it, I guess. There's certainly no guarantee that we'll make it this time, but we'll try. Well, let's skip the cutscene. I guess you could even dart him right there. Do that. Yep. Wait a little bit here, but not super duper long. I think this is... I probably should have used a dart here, but at this point it won't make it, I guess. Oh my god. I knew that I needed a dart there, but I didn't really, because I didn't get to see his route really last time. Okay, I'm gonna try something. Yeah, okay, it's not gonna work. Camera sees you and then... But if I intend to dart him anyway, I could probably dart him there. And we'll see if like the other guard or the camera will see him or something, but I would suspect that's not really a thing. Oh, there's a hole. I have to take this route to avoid the camera. I didn't miss the door racing through this. I think we enter the other office here. Another guy patrolling here, I believe. Yeah. I forgot about this guy, but it worked out. Yeah, so you swap weapons and jump using the B button, so there's a lot of jumping and crouching when you're trying to change weapons and vice versa. This guy, I recall I could, let's hope we don't get into trouble for not taking out the other guy before there. There is, yeah. Oh, fuck. The wrong weapon equipped, but I think we're done here anyway. I can hear the winds blowing. Actually not bad. I missed a fucking computer. Yes, I missed a computer. I missed a dart. That's not very good. Actually, let's just restart. A lot of finger gymnastics. Actually got decent range. Wasn't a computer in here, was there? No. Here, let's get this one. Skip this last time. Stealthily jumping in place. We walk around. For him. It's gonna show up. I don't want to be that close. Fuck. The dark door. I think we just skipped that first PC the last time by mistake. I think all guards are quite possible to get with the keychain. Gotta be aware of their route. I'll wait for him to go to the right. So walk around the table and come closer. Oh, did he turn around already over there? Oh, I guess yes. Yes, okay, good. Jumping on top of stuff is like tremendously awkward. Can't walk forward while swapping weapons. I guess B plus forward. I hold B and I tap L and R to swap weapons. But holding B and pressing up makes you jump. Or standing up if you're crouching. This the last guy? Yeah. All right. That wasn't so bad. The opponent, I don't think I said hi properly. Greetings. Maybe I did. I don't know. But hi. Welcome anyway. Looks like a low resolution build engine game. Yeah, I can see that. It's got a little bit of that, like, especially with these types of environments. It's like trying to replicate real life locations with like very blocky geometry. But it still has some, like, it's not full Wolfenstein hallways. It's mostly like pretty flat, but we've had some rooms with some verticality to them. So we'll go into this room first. Oh yeah, we're gonna hack the lock. I think is it? Okay, it's not quite instant, but it's not actually like a process you have to wait for. This is gonna spawn dudes. Deal with this first. So tedious. I cycled literally the opposite direction. Definitely crouched under his desk. Okay, so I think... Yeah, okay. So let's just go back the other way, get to the roof. Build engine was the peak FPS aesthetic. Got a cool look to it for sure. I think I purchased, but I'm yet to actually play Iron Fury, which I thought looked kind of cool. I've definitely had the thought that as far as like art that I would like to experiment doing is doing like especially the first person like view, like the weapons you're holding in like in the camera view. I'm not super interested in developing a first person shooter. But the art, like I would like to take some like reference photos and like pixeling over them and trying to achieve that sort of look. Not even specifically emulating, you know, Duke 3D or Doom or anything like that, but just like what would my take on that kind of look like? And I think because those games had so much actual 2D artwork in them, like I definitely enjoy making or coming up with art for something like that. Like, you know, enemies and characters and stuff too. But in terms of like actually building levels and designing weapons and making that style of game all around it, like for me to be interested in actually doing that, I think I would like, I like those games just fine, but it's not something I feel compelled by like creatively. But I do agree that there's a lot of aesthetic appeal to that sort of vibe. That'll be interesting. I played a little bit of Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun recently, which is definitely completely its own thing, but it's got, you know, a lot of chunky pixel art, like low resolution stuff in a 3D environment, and I think that's cool. I think in general, like applying, I've said a million times that I'm always intrigued by stuff that exists in kind of the borderlands between 2D and 3D, whether it's 2D faking 3D or vice versa, or stuff that's just like incorporating one into the other. And certainly like pixel art being applied to a kind of 3D canvas, regardless of whether it's a first person shooter or whatever else, is just something intriguing to me and kind of cool. So I think that is what sort of compels me to at least think about like what I would do if I were to make something like that. But in general, I think what I'd be more interested in would be probably something that is like more of a 2D kind of game that uses 3D elements, but also like keeping all the textures on the 3D very much in line like essentially if you had, you know, 2D characters and 2D like props and elements, and you put them on a 3D in a 3D space, basically having the textures of that 3D space be stylistically and like resolution and detail level consistent with the characters as if it was like a 2D game, basically. A game that I can think of just off the top of my head because it came up in conversation the other day is Champion Wrestler on PS1, which is an awesome wrestling game that is basically it plays like Fire Pro, but it doesn't have a stamina system, so it's like super fast paced. And that game is a very cool game. It's got great elaborate animation for it too, for being that style of game. But it has like the ring is in 3D, so it's 2D sprite characters in a 3D ring, which still obviously has like a pretty set camera perspective. The camera moves, so you get like the parallax 3D effect of the ring. But that's a great example of, you know, a ring is basically a big box, right? And even the ropes and the turnbuckles and stuff, like, because the camera isn't like moving around, it's not orbiting, it's just basically panning left and right. Anything that's only going to be seen from largely one angle can still be, you can just draw it and have it be 2D. And that lets you get away with, like, basically imagine if you were to do a wrestling game like that fully in 2D, like it's a Muscle Bomber or something. Just like take that pixel art, but then just apply it to a box shape that gets like proper parallax 3D perspective, and you get like the look of 2D with the additional kind of 3D depth effect, which is so cool. The game I was talking about is Champion Wrestler for PS1. It's a Taito game. There is a Taito arcade game called Champion Wrestler, but it's from like 86 or 87 or something. It's a completely different game. They just kind of used the title. Killer Instinct has like 3D stages and stuff too. I wouldn't necessarily point to that as like the premier example, for a lot of reasons, at least not of this specific idea, because obviously even the 2D element in those games, I mean, it is a great example of something that exists kind of in between 2D and 3D. But there are plenty of other fighting games, like Arc System Works pioneered a lot more recently with the 3D rendering, but even Blaze Blue and stuff, they actually did a really good job of building 3D environments that still had tons of 2D, you know, billboard characters and props and elements to make it look, you know, have a sort of painted 2D art look to it. Skullgirls is an amazing example too, where it's like the way they author the levels for that game, they do them all in 2D first, and then they break it down into elements and like slap a lot of those 2D elements onto 3D meshes for kind of a subtle added 3D effect, and like it looks awesome. And of course that's also not pixel art, but that's kind of beside the point. It's just like adding a layer of 3D depth to 2D art assets, which I think can be really cool. And with pixel art stuff, you get this kind of added layer on top of that where you can kind of mimic this early 3D game aesthetic, where obviously if you were painting textures for a PS1 game, in a lot of cases you were basically doing pixel art because you were working with very similar limitations, honestly, to like drawing sprites and tiles for a 2D based system. So it fits very well together. Tried making a prototype for a belt scrolling game like that in Unity. Yeah, I mean that's a perfect example too. I think what is it called? Not Raging Justice, but The Takeover. I believe that's all like 2D sprites for the characters, but the environments are all 3D, but it's all like pre-rendered. It's kind of similar to Killer Instinct, I guess. And I think that's a cool effect. Like, that's my thought for like the beat 'em up that I don't want to say making, but I am concepting. On the one hand, I could envision it being like either done to sort of Mega Drive art spec or done as like a CPS2 game or whatever. But I think realistically what I would want, I mean, at one point or another, I would have also imagined it using 3D graphics, because as far as producing it and making animations and stuff like that, there's certainly benefits to doing it in 3D as well. But I think ideally, stylistically, what I would prefer to do is to do all the characters as 2D pixel art sprites, and have the environments all be 3D, but basically just doing what I just said, like styling all the textures so that it looks reminiscent of something like Final Fight or The Punisher or something like that. But instead of having a purely only a painted in perspective, have that perspective, but also have it like warp and shift as the camera scrolls and stuff like that. And potentially you could have some, maybe for some elements you'd be able to do very slight 3D camera motions. Like you might have some, and I think that would be so incredibly powerful just visually if you had a if you have drawings of the characters, for example, matching a particular camera movement, so you can have a camera that turns around or zooms in or something, and as long as you don't have to do it like dynamically, you do it in very specific points where you know which characters are there and whatever, like you can account for it, have a specific animation so that the 2D character that's like a pixel art sprite is behaving correctly with regards to like the 3D perspective of the camera. I think that would be like a mind-blowingly cool effect. Obviously not even remotely labor effective, but it would be a cool thing to try and do. But yeah, stuff like that I'm always like fascinated with, to see like what interesting stuff you can do that evokes a particular aesthetic but isn't bound by convention and like the hard limitations that existed at one point or another. Yeah, but like I said too, like the stuff I'm talking about there, it's for my game, it's just, you know, I have a design document that I work on here and there. I've got a bunch of character designs, so I've got art here and there. I have basic outline of every level in the game. Like there's a lot of stuff like that, but it's all theory, right? A game doesn't exist, and realistically I don't think it's likely that I will ever make it. Not to say that it wouldn't happen ever, but it's not a game, the scope of it isn't really reasonable, at least not with my current skill set, for me to like sit down and make and learn how to make. But it's still, just as a design exercise, it's fun to tinker with. But if I were to start making stuff more seriously, so to speak, that a game like that is such a gigantic scope. At least if I were to do it, I would want it to be good, and I don't have the skill to make it myself. So I don't know what form that would take, if ever, but as it is, it's still fun to tinker with. But separate from that, like an entire concept for a game, there are things that could be fun to tinker with as a proof of concept, or as you say, like as a tech demo or something like that, just to see what could be done and what it might look like. Wonder how it is to make a shoot 'em up. I would say making a shoot 'em up is a lot easier than making a beat 'em up for a lot of reasons. And it's not to say that it's easy to make a good one, but there are a lot more tools designed for making shoot 'em up games than there are for making beat 'em ups. And even disregarding that, there's so many things when it comes to collision detection and like the interaction between different entities on screen that is so much more straightforward in a shoot 'em up. You don't have to worry about like hit stop necessarily. You don't have to worry too much about a very complex state machine. Like a beat 'em up character, whether it's the player character or an enemy, has a lot more different types of states they can be in typically compared to like a ship in a shoot 'em up. You don't have to worry about sort of three-dimensional movement and gravity. You don't necessarily have to worry about AI. You could definitely make a shoot 'em up game where the enemy patterns are all completely deterministic, or at the very least, if they acknowledge the player, it can be much more simple than you would expect from an enemy in a beat 'em up game. There's like a million other things. Making any game actually good is not an easy thing to do. But as far as jumping in and pressing some buttons and messing around a little bit and seeing what comes out of it, the barrier to entry for like making a shoot 'em up is significantly lower than for making a beat 'em up, in my opinion. Doom pogo stick. Well, I'm not gonna go watch YouTube videos while I'm streaming, but I can open that link and maybe watch it later if I remember. Anyway, let's see if we can figure out the second half of this level. Most would be more about upgrades and obstacles in the environment. Are you talking about what you would want to make or what you're interested in? I mean, I think any game comes down to, like, on a core fundamental level, like just controlling well, handling, like feeling good to control. And yes, if you want to make a good shoot 'em up, I mean, they're all about encounter design, like enemy patterns, enemy behaviors, like the pacing of where enemies show up and what they do. That's like a shit ton of work and takes a lot of science. But in terms of coming up with what you want things to behave like and making them follow that behavior, I think is 100 times more straightforward than with a beat 'em up. At least I say that as someone who's never seriously contemplated making a shoot 'em up, because I'm just not that interested in it. Even the art that you would make for something like that is not the kind of art I would be interested in making. Like vehicles, spaceships, bullets, explosions, environments. None of those things are things I'm particularly excited by. So I've thought of it like, you know, what would I want to make that's like gives me enough of what I would want to do artistically while also not being a fucking beat 'em up or a fighting game that's like absurdly complicated to make. So the thought crossed my mind, of course, with a shoot 'em up, but I'm more likely to do like an RPG Maker game or a Ren'Py visual novel or something where I could focus entirely on the art stuff and just make the game as absolutely simple as possible, where it's not even about mechanics so much. Not that I have any particular ideas in mind for that either, but it feels closer in terms of like what I would feel interested enough in making that I could see myself actually trying to make something with. Shoot 'em up just isn't really that for me. But obviously, you know, to each their own. People have different inclinations and inspirations. But I think there was a game, I want to say that they gave it away for free on Steam not too long ago. I forget what it was called, but it's basically like a shoot 'em up maker software kind of thing. There's stuff like that for sure. Alright, now we just gotta get out of here. Escape to the roof. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to reload. Select. I have a guy behind me, but accuracy is going to shit, but at least I know how to beat the level now, so alright, we can skip this. But I guess for score you might want to stick around just to kill a few more guys here. I don't know. Not super effective at range, but it's not like super great at close range either. This, however, seems pretty good. I wonder if I get a 007 Bond bonus for shooting the helicopter or something. Like, I get the rocket launcher. Gotta be for something, right? Okay, these guys just fucking respawn. Whatever, fuck it, we're out of here. Yeah, you only get 4 rockets, which I don't think is enough to take down the helicopter anyway. Looks like we made it. Not the most riveting parachuting music, but... Kiko, where are you? Oh, yeah, that's right. He's landing on the bar of the extremely authentic Japanese teenagers. Sorry to drop in like this, but would you ladies mind giving me a ride? Oh, we got the bronze. Horse just enough. Yeah, I thought maybe it took 5, but probably because I missed a rocket or 2. Yeah, the cutscene images are all stills from the cutscenes from the PC version. Except for the first few levels, we didn't have the Brosnan likeness for Bond. It was like the generic Bond who looked like he was from Agent Under Fire for some reason. But here it's the proper same model from the PC game. But it was so weird going through the PC game because I could swear that there's a handful of cutscenes that are literally identical to the Xbox version. And then there's some that's obviously completely different for various reasons because it's features like different characters, different locations, stuff that even, you know, from totally different levels. But there were a few cutscenes that felt like they were very similar, like they might have used the exact same audio for the dialogue and like the same animation, but it was in like a different room or a slightly different camera angle, stuff that seemed like very similar but not the same, which like really tripped me up. But this definitely, like the flow of the levels, the objectives, the cutscenes, everything's from the PC version of this basically. There's nothing that's there's nothing so far that seemed closer to the console version than to the PC version. Alright, 92% dispatched enemy. Accuracy is not great. Wow, okay, we were like 2 minutes under par. Enough for, well, almost 2 minutes. If we were 2 minutes under, maybe we would have gotten even more points. Yeah, who knows how many Bond bonus tokens there could have been to pick up. I didn't really register how many points we got for that in the previous stage where we did find it. Like, I don't know if it's an extra 100k or if it's 5,000, but actually, come to think of it, we got a silver rating, and that's probably because we found the Bond bonus token. Yeah, our station looks very different. So I wonder, I can see the score bronze, but I can't really see the stats breakdown, I guess. Select doesn't, yeah. Nope. Well, that's mission 3 completed. So again, if we are to assume that it's following the same basic plot, I can think of 1 or 2 levels that would likely be excised, but they would have to kind of rejigger things quite a bit if they wanted to take out this or the next level. Because after this, it would make sense that we go back to the same office level. I forget exactly what sort of happens, but there's a bunch of plot that happens. And I'm sure they couldn't resist the temptation to reuse the level geometry for an entire new level. I mean, they justify it well enough in the game. It's not a complaint, but if they're already like on kind of a limited scope and budget, any excuse to reuse a whole level seems too good to give up. All right, well, let's check out the power station level. Hopefully there's no stealth. We've decrypted the Nightfire files we secured last night, 007. They contain rather troubling data concerning a shut-down nuclear power plant not far from Tokyo. Phoenix Corporation has been contracted to cleanse the plant of radioactive material. We now suspect that massive amounts of construction have been secretly carried out inside the towers. New PowerPoints. Oh, that was it. Your mission is to infiltrate the plant and find out what Drake is hiding. As always, 007, best of luck. Of course, dismantling a nuclear reactor is an incredibly delicate operation. Dangerous as well, yes? That's why we've invested in robot technology. Those forklifts. Insanely expensive, but keeping our people safe is important. When our work is done, beaches here will be clean enough for children to swim and their grandfathers to fish. Thank you, Mr. Drake. I appreciate the exclusive interview. Like that, we can barely tell here, but she's got that like white cameraman dude. He's just like giving his interview in English to a crew of 2 people. Interview's over, Mr. Rook. All snipers back into position. Just they gotta hide the snipers for when the camera crew is there. Yeah, once again, this setup, everything is all... Wow. PC game, okay. Fire jetpack test data. I don't even notice, I guess. I was shitting up my accuracy for no reason. I guess we've got a little bit of dynamic music going on. I hadn't really thought about that. Are these barrels or no? They're just boxes. Guys are weirdly buffed. Armor there, it looks like. I can see a few blue pixels over there. Like a little bit awkward to try to shoot stuff at a distance. I want the best. I like there's like one railing this entire room. There's jetpack test data. Okay, yeah, we're just starting in the room. There's no like infiltrating the facility. Almost dead. Let's try to get that armor. Sniper rifle ammo. If we can survive this. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. A little bit awkward. Oh. So like scared about time too. Can we get another objective? No. We're supposed to get out of here. Find a way into shipping building. Makes sense that this isn't as open as it is either the PC or console game. This like courtyard area. Oh shit. Oh my god. I mean, I guess I didn't have a ton of health, but I fired pretty quickly. Safety last, yeah. I reckon we gotta like route that first room a little better. We probably don't want to inside a firefight. We're not gonna like really stealth it though. Look at my health. Like you basically want to try to get into a position where you can just fire on like a stationary enemy. And then like drop down like this. Trying to see if I can grab the armor there, but I'd like to not have to grab the armor like the first thing I do. Yeah, dropping down seems to work. I might have taken fall damage from that though. I wasn't really paying attention. Well, I could have. I almost got the armor, yes, but on the other hand, there still would be a lot of enemies to take care of. No. Dude, you're like... hitbox for picking up ammo is so weirdly tiny. Can't look down further than this. I guess that did work. So obviously, I'd want to save some sniping for the next area. But I also don't think I need to, like, really engage with these guys. I mean, I don't need to go out of my way to do so, at any rate. Guess I get score for killing dudes, but... Game has good ideas and some neat tech. Yeah, I mean, it's not a complete trash game. It's, like, clunky and awkward and difficult to play. But it's got interesting stuff going on.
He's on the ground.
Dude, I took like half health. I don't have like lean keys or anything. Maybe these other guys will be able to take out before they can shoot me. Wait, is he still... No, that's just his corpse. Okay, I saw the guy on the top left there. Oh boy. Yeah, you can take 2 shots and then you're dead. Alright, so I was just assuming that there would be a guy on my, like, upper left. Which is why I kind of ran to the right. There were like 3 more guys on the right. So it's possible that there wasn't anyone on the left, in which case... could have moved in a different direction and be mostly safe. Oh my god. My health just drained. I know I'm like dead, but... trying to see, was there someone in the corner? I don't know, someone shot me like 3 times, like doom doom doom, and I just lost a shit ton of health. It's so weird. I guess when you're going like one-on-one, you're sort of stun locking them and they're not shooting you when you're shooting them. But then other times you just like get shot very rapidly and you lose so much health so quickly. But yeah, like trying to stay at a distance and like picking them off like doesn't seem to work really well. Yeah, it was probably that guy down there. Oh boy, that wasn't great. At least not what I intended. But also not great. Yeah, I'm like dead. I think I had the right idea before, going on the right hand side and dropping down to those guys, but I just need to be aware that there's going to be someone else coming on the right hand side behind me. Try not to lose a shit ton of health against this guy. Frames are being eaten for like half my shots. Let's see what's going on. There's no like look neutral button. You just have to like walk forward for a bit. And you'll snap into place. I'm taking some extra time here, but want to see if I can clear out this room. Probably didn't need to chase after this guy though. Before I grab the armor. I hit you if you duck. I don't think I'm like invincible if I duck. That seems extremely unlikely. But I don't know sort of how or to what degree my evasive capabilities are affected by crouching. I do know that I move slower and more awkwardly, so there's that. I didn't look. Aha! A whole different direction to go. Might be a bad idea. Might not be. Some of those sounds where it's like womp womp, it just sounds like a fucking Amiga game to me. Like sometimes the music just sounds weirdly Amiga-like, which I mean it makes sense because it's all like sample-based, right? But it's not typically the vibe you get from a GBA game. Yeah, I think these might have been the guys that got me last time. They kind of came around. If they were. Reload. Yeah. There's a guy on the right here. Alright, this route seems a lot safer. Who just said that? I had him in my sights, but the actual reticle was like in the way. Okay, miracle survival there, but literally 0 health right now. I was a little clumsy there. I could have avoided some of that. Grapple up there or something. The objective? Just reach. Find a way into shipping building. What's up, Ingvar? Thank you very much. Comic Runner, welcome, welcome. It is a bit rough, but it's kind of cool also. I would say the rough to cool ratio is a little more unfortunate than I would have hoped. Doesn't seem like there's any grappling thing. Hope there's no like jumping on a bunch of crates and shit. Although it kind of looks like that's exactly what's going on here. Is that a dude? I think that's a decorative gray box of some kind. Just assume there's like some way around. No, there's just nothing there. Looks like we've kind of cleared out the whole area though. Yeah, this is just a way back to my starting position, kind of, right? Looked like a doorway or something, but no. Alright, let's see if we can maybe figure out what doorways. Yeah, this is so stupid that it's like such a time sink to figure this shit out, and then you get like, oh, you didn't beat the level because you weren't fast enough. I mean, GBA was not incapable of producing non-sampled sounds, but it was just like the typical... Oh, maybe just walk up here. Hog every wall over here. And I suppose... I mean, I don't know anything about the technical aspects of it, but I reckon... a lot of cases it would be compressed, so it'd be kind of muffled. That's why a lot of it sounds pretty shitty. So I'm assuming I have the grapple. Oh, this does not look like real 3D. Although build is kind of like this too, like just the skewing of the perspective. Thinking like, because there's platforms up here, it's supposed to make some kind of daring leap across up there or something. Nothing to like latch onto. The one time we used the grapple in this game, we grappled onto a giant green arrow. So I don't think it would be like conspicuously hidden. I don't have any other gadget that seems usable, right? I don't think we can hack. Maybe we could laser the doors. Something. I mean, we can generally tell if something is being affected by the laser. There's like smoke and into dark. Kind of like lighting going on here, which is kind of baked. Kind of small grate or something. I mean, I don't even really know what I'm supposed to be infiltrating, but I guess it's... Wait, can I... There's like just enough stuff that's like a little bit higher up. Oh, I can climb this, can I? Seems like maybe you're supposed to gain altitude, but I can't even jump up on this, I don't think. I tried it and I couldn't manage. Oh. So this made me think that there's some kind of stepping, you know, multiple things to jump up to get up there, but there's nothing else. No giant green grappling arrows. And yeah, I mean, of course, as far as like sound capabilities on hardware where you're relying on samples, ROM storage capacity would have been a lot more of an issue back then than it probably is now. So that's a factor too, of course, in terms of like what the hardware is theoretically, hypothetically capable of versus like what's a feasible, practical thing to do. Dude, I'm so confused. What am I missing? Like, even if I could grapple up there, I don't see how that would help me. Laser this crate and find a ladder inside. See something up here that I thought was maybe an enemy, and then I decided it wasn't. I think it was up there. Whatever it was, I don't think there would be a grapple thing. Yeah. There's a few shimmering gray pixels over there. Oh my god. It was a gray arrow this whole time. Surely that couldn't possibly have been meant what I was meant to do. Yeah, see, I can't... I wasn't able to enter that door unless I need to laser, whoops, a particular pixel on here. The arrow wasn't green on this level, it's just gray. But now what? Can't go in. Whoops, okay, that didn't kill me. But maybe we can find another flickering gray pixel somewhere and latch onto it. From just the right angle and just the right distance. I mean, it's literally just a door on a little shelf. Maybe I can grapple to the crates? If that's the case, I'm not sure if it helps us, man. Just try grappling to whatever. Oh, just... So was I... You manage something and it's somehow more confusing. Like, it didn't lead anywhere, so what's the... Like, why was there a grapple thing there? Mentioned builds as excuse. Is this like a version of that? No, I don't think there's any technical relation. What I meant was, at first I said like, oh, it seems like it, you know, because the perspective gets like weirdly skewed when you look up, it reminds me of stuff like Marathon, which also has like this kind of effect when you look up and down. And that's slightly more 3D than Doom, but still not quite as 3D as Build in terms of having stuff like multiple floors on top of each other and stuff. But even Build games, like in their original incarnation anyway, behave like that. Okay, so let's see how... Alright, so maybe if I jump over there... Nope! Ugh, I got the buttons mixed up. I meant to turn and I accidentally strafed. Maybe I can get up on that platform and that's how we sneak in the back way. I think that's my best working theory right now. Figure out how I can back up just far enough to see two shimmering gray pixels and try to latch onto them. I did the exact same thing again. Well, there's armor. It looks like also some kind of path forward. Maybe. Path somewhere. Might be more snipers though, in which case we still die in like one shot. I think this is new, right? Oh! Not snipers, but... oh my god, okay. Ah, I should've just fucking used the sniper rifle, though. Still had it. That's absurd. I can't believe that's what I was supposed to do. Alright. Getting late. I'm not sure if we'll be able to finish this mission, but we should be able to get some more valuable research data. Like when the game doesn't slow down, you can shoot really fast. Whoops, I was gonna say, I think it's safest to walk up there, then drop down right by the door. Fuck that up. I lost more. Yeah, fuck it. I mean, it's not worth going through. If I can't get out of there with full health, I'm not gonna get out of there with like 3 health. That's frankly just stupid. But I think I could have, if I didn't slip and fall there, if I just dropped down right next to the exit, they would have been far enough away that I don't think I would be in much danger of getting shot for the last, like, 2 meters. Yep. Figured I... Do you know what? Literally the first room. I might as well restart it to get that right. A lot of game design in this game, yes. Undeniably so. I can never get him right away. Not extremely responsive there, but crouch, but that's fine. Oh, he was standing right here. Fell down. I'm not sure what happened there, but I think I got that white thing confused for an enemy again. But basically, if I hug the wall over here, it should be reasonably safe. Yeah. All right. So the I think that's a pixel of someone's head, but remember exactly where the enemies are. There's someone like on ground level right here, like right behind this corner. Could be wrong though, so maybe this guy's gonna be exposed first. Definitely one up here on the by the door, right? Oh. Misremembering where every enemy is. I mean, there's two guys up on the right. Here at least. Is that a guy? I think it is. Yep. Yeah, so this, I think I'm actually better off not taking those guys on from that angle. Okay. It's like they're looking in a certain direction. You can sort of, depending on which route you take, you can kind of either get them like from their blind spot, or where they kill you in a second. Alright. Still have more health than last time. A little bit of sniper ammo. Find those pixels. Can't see them, but they're there. More armor up here, right? Nope, there wasn't. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. It's ammo. Got a P90, it looks like. Oh, I think I got him. Dude, I'm being fucking shot from off screen. There is a sniper there. Fuck. There's one more. Okay. Whew. Be around the corner. Fucking terrifying. Wall. Have this like. I like that you hear like the first 3 seconds of the action music fade in as they immediately start fading out. It's gonna be wrong. Game is pretty stingy with the armor. Alright, so we probably have to grapple or do something with this thing. That's actually a thing from the PC game. Like arrange some sort of climbing situation to get up through that door or the equivalent. Guess we can just see if maybe we can find something to grapple onto. There's an arrow. Awkward. I don't know who the fuck was shooting at me, but... Squad 4, do you copy? Squad 4! What the hell's happening up there? Oh, the red team, take him down. Oh, fucking Virgil. Red team, I don't know about this. Our laser test data. Can I find a weapon, please? Destroy CS door with mounted laser. Dude, the pickup hitbox is so absurdly tiny. You have to like very carefully place your shoe on top of each thing you can pick up. I guess these guys are the red team, P90s. This room actually kind of looks a little similar enough to where I think I know where I need to go. Up here. I was gonna say I saw a light blue pixel. I thought maybe it was armor. It wasn't, but there was armor here. Dude, look at my fucking health. Oh, but I saw there's a table on my lower left there where I think the data was. Oh. Alright, but we're piecing together the level. That probably was the exit, right? Well, not the exit probably, because after that, I guess we have to fight Virgil. We'll give it like one more go here. But I think I was, it's very likely that some of those enemies spawned because I went up to the cannon. But it's also... Dude, the turning is so fucked. Like, you accelerate and you build momentum in your turning speed, but because the camera, or like the rendering updates so infrequently, it's typically quite difficult to know how fast you're turning until it's too late. Bit messed up. But yeah, even if a bunch of enemies spawned as I got on the cannon, it's likely that I could have cleared out the room a little bit better, and I was being careless with like the gun got overheated, which is why I couldn't shoot. So I couldn't defend myself there towards the end. I think we got an okay route here. Not ideal, but okay. Like, we get a drop on some of these guys. Of course, I don't remember exactly what I positioned myself, but... The other guy to his left. Don't worry, Sword Clam. I'll be able to take care of it in seconds. And no big deal. That guy. Nice. So I think just these two guys left. Okay, I think we got all of them. Doesn't sound like it. Although I thought I wasn't being shot at, but I heard radio like that sort of at the end last time too, and I was very confused. Okay, there was a guy here. Did I get him? So, I didn't feel like I hit him. Yeah, that was one enemy that took... I was at full health, by the way. But he was able to shoot me twice, so... It's a bit stupid. Like, given everything else, just how effectively they can destroy you. It's a bit stupid, in my opinion. Like, it's very easy to just feel like you did absolutely nothing wrong. Well, I can't see the platform I'm on anyways. Still think the sniper rifles... Yeah, I don't want to waste that on... red vest guys. As lethal as they are, they're nothing against the snipers. Got him, I even heard the voice. Guy over here. I want to say there's one more guy by the exit. Good luck seeing that. Could be it. Good place to hide a bond bonus somewhere, but... Oh, okay, I can... Because I know it's there, I can kind of see the bluish gray hair. Oof. Messed up. I should extrapolate from over here. I can't look up more than this, by the way. Go. Right, this is where we had someone else shooting at us. Whew. Okay. Red team, whatever. Let me just grab a gun real quick. Oh, I think there's actually a few armor plates here, aren't there? Yes. Good. 90 ammo. Dude, the fucking aim. I'm dead. Jesus Christ. There's not gonna be more ammo over there. Yeah, I'll get shot. Oh. So, I tried to sidestep to drop down the little slope in an attempt to not... Because when you walk on slopes, the game doesn't doesn't adjust your aim. So you keep looking straight forward. Which is, you know, fair enough. That's a valid choice. PC FPS games, you would typically have a choice for whether or not the game would do that or not. So, them choosing not to do that, I wouldn't count as a failure. It's just, you know, one way of doing it. Nice, we actually got him. Magazine. However, that means that if I'm walking down a slope and there's an enemy standing at the foot of it, I won't be aiming at him until I reach the bottom. So I thought, well, if I just drop down, I'll get to the bottom faster, and I can shoot this red guy a little quicker. But it didn't quite work out because I was still not really in alignment, and I was kind of exposing myself to more enemies. So that was a bad idea. I have a lot of ammo. Oh, wait. I think what I should try to do is, like, sort of bait that guy to pop out so I can try to get to him first, maybe. Really a lot of danger involved here, so do this correctly anyway. There's like a gap in the polygons here. I don't know that I can hit him through it. He's a little inconsistent. There's two more guys on that side, not just the one that I thought. But the thing is, like, they shot at me immediately when I came from... When I went around the first building the other way, when I took the left route instead of this... Well, if this is the right route. So I'm not sure if there is a way to, like, flank them. Looks like there's someone there, right? Or is that a corpse? Nope. I think it was. But I believe there's still one guy left over there. Okay. Someone took the one hit there at least. Yeah, but at least I know now there's... Action music stopped. That ought to have been the last guy, at least. Hard to feel confident. Where are you, elusive pixels? Oh, first try. Like stepping onto the arrow. Fucking Jabba the Hutt's tail in the special edition of New Hope. I have a ton of ammo, actually. Oh, there's more here, though, right? That guy. A little more efficient at this part. Ammo. I don't know if the sniper rifle actually could be useful. Sniper rifle's got a good sound. Yeah, I like the sound effects, and the music is, I mean, not really great. Especially the way it's applied. We have all these like cutscenes that just play music, like the stealth music's just playing over the cutscene. Dude, the guy actually fucking got me this time, and I fucking fell down. At least I know where he fucking was. Well, I think I could have time for one more attempt, but depending on how far we get, we might be running a little bit late. So I think that's as good a place to call it as any. We're getting close. We're minutes away from 10 p.m., which is my usual wrapping up time, and I'm still feeling the effects of daylight savings time switching. I should make an effort to try to go to bed early. See, I was talking at the beginning of the stream of like, man, I hope this GBA version is just like super simple and smooth and just, you know, just a breeze to glide through, and man, that hasn't been the case. But on the other hand, we're probably about halfway done with the game. If it keeps getting harder, then it's going to be pretty rough. Does it save progress? Yeah, we have a our little profile here. I can see this again, for those who missed it. Pretty good. The audio quality for this music especially sounds like insane for GBA. They didn't use the actual Nightfire theme music though, I guess. Yeah, the walk is pretty strong. Just plays this over the music load game. Fucking thanks, Sword Fam. Are we gonna need to put a fucking follower chat only on again? So annoying. I guess we can, whoa. Be on the extra mega safe side. Do a save state. The actual save should work fine, but thanks for bringing that to my attention, Sword Fam. You never know. It'd be very annoying if somehow we lost save data between now and next time. We'll shut that down for now, though. A very interesting game. I find it intriguing, but I do feel like I have a capacity for being quite charitable to experiences with games that others would be more harsh and unforgiving on. And as such, I'm surprised that there is some amount of positive sentiment surrounding this game, I guess. I'm not saying that this is so shit people should hate it, but like having played it, I feel like, I mean, not to say that this game has a stellar reputation, but I seem to have seen some comments here or there to the effect of like, oh, this one, you know, it's pretty cool, like it's better than you would think. And I mean, it's technically impressive in several ways, but it's not, it's pretty annoying. It's pretty miserable to play. Looks like Moss Bios is still online. They were streaming before, and it looks like they're doing Hard Boiled for the watch along Wednesdays. Sure enough, this movie is fucking the best action movie of all time. So let's go watch Hard Boiled with Moss. I'll be back on Saturday to finish this game, I guess. Hopefully. Knock on wood. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you very much for keeping me company. I'm sure a lot of us has experienced something tonight that we weren't ready for. But hey, it's all in good fun. I'll be back Saturday. More Bond. See you guys then. Take care. Thank you for watching. Bye.